Stan Show channel got 26,000 views last week.
Dude, that's not even remotely viral.
Buzzkill.
We're on.
Yay!
Hello, Courtney. How you doing today?
Hello, Stan. I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm just rifty-difty. I've got to get my light on back there.
Oh, yes.
On air. There we go.
Official.
It's official now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. Did you have a good weekend? What'd you do over the weekend?
As little as possible. Actually, that's a lie. I did a couple of cleans. I had my granddaughter for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to get out to the Red, White, and Moo, but I didn't quite make it. I heard you did.
I did. I went to the Red, White, and Moo, and I met CJ and Lori at their farm,
Yes.
which is called Dugan's Useless Acres, and took the granddaughter out there. She had a ball. She had the best time ever. Lori is so cool she gets all the stuff set up for kids to do. They painted pottery and it was all donation.
Yeah.
All donation. And
They're incredible people.
They had delicious hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and hot dogs and all the snacks you could eat. And then there are the animals, of which they have plenty. They have the Highland cattle. Have you seen these things? They're the ones with the hair that grows in their face.
I know, and they're so tiny and adorable.
They are. And they also had some really cool goats. They have a donkey whose name just went completely out of my head.
Jackass.
No, it's not. It's not Jackass, but it was just great. And the donkey, the cattle, no pigs. They didn't have a pig.
What about Ruby and Benjamin?
Who dat?
The dogs. Did they not have their dogs out?
Oh yeah, they came out.
Okay.
Yep, they came out. Yes,
Ruby
they
and
did.
Benjamin.
Lovely dogs. And I got to know CJ quite well. He's home this week, and I tried to get him. He might come out for a special podcast session with me, so we just talk about Dugan's and what he does and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think he might be an OTR trucker. Is that what he does? Because he says he's usually gone from Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
I saw a big rig out there.
I'm not at liberty to discuss my
okay.
friend's personal life.
It's
You'll
all
have to
good.
interview him.
It's all good. But yeah, I'd have fun if he would come out. Big strapping guy, massive beard.
He's so short.
Short. I'm 6 foot. I used to be 6'1", but I shrank. And he's got to be 6'5". He's, big, super, just the nicest couple, lovely couple.
Yep, they really are.
And
we're fortunate to have them here.
Took a bunch of pictures, put it on Facebook, put it on the rants and raves. I don't think I put it anywhere else, but I know if I put it there, people will look at it. So that's why I put it there. Well, what a week we've had.
Holy smokes, listen.
It's been an interesting week worldwide. A lot of stuff going on.
The energy worldwide's odd.
Yeah.
It is. Lots of strange happenings around.
Yeah. Donald Trump had a big week. He had a huge week. One of those short videos I put up, I told you about that. I just do something short every day to throw up there on the Stan Channel YouTube channel, which you, of course, should subscribe. Here we go. We're going to put that up there right now so you can see that. There you go. Subscribe and a little applause to go there. There you go. And then there's this.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
That's what she said.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, big things, Donald Trump. I was shocked when the Supreme Court came out and said that those 60 injunctions from lower court judges that Trump had put up against him to try to block the MAGA agenda, they all got shot down as unconstitutional. But I could have told you that was going to happen. I worked at a law school for 25 years.
That's right.
I know a bit about the Constitution, just a bit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I wasn't pushing a broom there. Okay, I had a studio there, film studio, video studio, where they would come in all the time and do programs. And man, and of course I couldn't go anywhere. I had to sit there and run the darn thing. So I learned a lot.
Yeah. That's
I
like
learned an awful lot.
free classes all day.
Yeah. And I could have told you that was going to happen. And everybody said, no. And it's the same thing with the constitutional rights for illegal aliens. I like to call them alien invaders. They don't have any constitutional rights because they're not citizens. They don't have constitutional rights. And this is what the Democrats have been arguing so heavily on is you're violating their constitutional right. They don't have any constitutional rights. And that is now in stone. The Supreme Court has one job. Do you know what it is?
To kind of provide the oversight and make sure that everything's going along according to the Constitution.
The Constitution. They have one job, and it puts us, I don't know who to attribute this quote to, but it is to decide what the Constitution means and what it means not. That's it. That's their entire job. Yeah. And they interpret the Constitution, what it means and what it means not. That's it. And darn if they didn't do a good job there, I'd have to say. I would have to say. Very, very interesting stuff. Now, it looks like New York City's getting ready to elect a communist mayor.
Yeah.
A Muslim communist. Now, what? Maybe you can tell me, why is it that these Muslim influencers, let's call them, and this guy's a politician, why is it that they are so attracted to communism? What about being a Muslim equates to communism? Can you tell me that? Because it doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Isn't it like kind of a power trip and a control?
Well, you know how Sharia law works,
Yeah.
that Sharia law, and they're trying to institute that in certain cities in the United States because they've imported so many Muslims. Dearborn, Michigan, I guess, is like a no-go zone now.
I've heard that too,
Yeah.
Don't be even drinking their water, guys.
I did see a video this morning of two women on a bus, and a Muslim woman is just reading them a riot act. And, the two pretty ladies doing a selfie video thing, and a Muslim woman just,
There'll be a swift uppercut.
Yeah. Don't think that was in Dearborn, though. I think that was in some other country. But
at some point, society will
coming
realize
soon to the United States.
We have become so over-civilized that we've just
Over-civilized?
Over-civilized.
Meaning too many people?
Meaning, what happened to a good kindergarten brawl? We used to figure those things out at a very early age. You knew who you could talk smack to and who you could, and we don't act like that because you get your mouth mashed. And there was a lot more respect when there was a little less civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd still like to mash some people right in the mouth. And I'm sure they'd like to hit me in the mouth, But you know what they can do?
What?
They could put their money where their arm is. Yeah. That's
You're
right.
killing me. I have been sick for 22 days now, and I was only sick for about 10. I would say 10 days that I was sick, but man, the recovery. I got up and sang over at Bryson City Brewing Sunday night. I was like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Wasn't trying to reach the high notes. No, it wasn't happening. I apologize to the good people. I did because other people again. They had a good night, man.
That's
they kept it going until like 9:15, which is the latest they've ever gone with that. But they had a whole bunch of ladies show up that got up and played and sang.
Nice.
There must have been 3 or 4 of them, and they're all doing that. Basically the lesbian music. And I said, hey, yeah. And what was the other one? Went to the doctor, went to the burper. They're doing all those songs. I'm like, man, I get it. And I saw something on X today, and it made me pause. So let's take a look at that thing. It's got to be on here somewhere. Let's see. See, we have this lovely television screen over here where we get to look at stuff. Just read this for a second. I don't even know who this person is, but
kids didn't ask for drag queens. Kids didn't ask for pronouns. Kids didn't ask about gender ideologies. It was the adults who asked the kids about those things. That's not normal. That's never will be.
Now, what do you think about that?
I have to agree with that.
Well, I think there's a very interesting statistic, which is very hard for me to say with these false teeth in my head. But there's a very interesting statistic that goes along with this, and that is there has been a tremendous rise in young people claiming to be not straight.
Yes.
And let's just call them queer, because that's what they call themselves, queer. Let's cover the whole alphabet thing with queer. All right.
Okay.
Now,
Disclaimer: I don't care what you do in your bedroom. It's not my
no,
business.
of course not. Of course
Okay?
not. No, don't care what you do in the bedroom.
Absolutely
don't
not.
care who you're attracted to unless
Nope.
it's a minor. Then we got a problem.
That's true. There is no minor attracted persons. There's pedophiles and
Yeah.
probably need their extremities chopped off.
Yep. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
So, and we've learned that, especially in certain states and school districts, that there has been a lot of indoctrination going on.
There has been. Yes.
A lot of, and it's like this thing says, kids didn't ask for any of this, and they wouldn't talk about it on their own. It's nothing they would discuss with each other. Somebody had to put the idea in their head.
No, I know when I was 10-year-old girl and prepubescent, and I grew up as the only girl with a bunch of boys, and there were definitely days where it was, I hate being a girl. I want to be a boy. And, I was met with, unfortunately, you didn't win this go round, so you're stuck being a girl. And I'm
totally
so
get that.
thankful
No,
now.
I totally get that.
But if I was born in 2000 and decided to act like that, my parents could totally have, or even myself, without any input from my parents or family, could have just started hormones and really fouled up the rest of my life.
All right. Now, we've all heard the expression toxic masculinity. I heard one comedian put it, it's really the only kind of masculinity.
You know what? That kind of masculinity is usually only toxic if you're a toxic female.
Okay. That's a good way to put it. Anyway.
Oh, I definitely have very strong opinions about that.
I completely understand a young girl like you would have been in the early 80s, even, up to the late 80s, even to 1990, you're still a young lady.
Yeah, I would have only been 10. And
I know. I understand. But even then, I mean, think about the 80s we grew up with, with all the Miami Vice and the pink and blue and all of that stuff. And that was still a time, especially in the movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger killing predators and all that stuff. I mean, it was still a man's world back then, very, very much, even into the 90s. Things changed quite a bit in the 90s.
Yeah, women's lib women. If we could just go back and do away with all that, we'd still be at home cooking and raising babies instead of all this BS.
And there's nothing wrong with that if that's your choice.
Absolutely not.
But things have changed a lot, and especially in education, things have changed a ton.
Yes.
So it's my proclivity to say to you that a lot of this input that students have been getting in their schools is putting thoughts in their head that they shouldn't be having.
In conjunction with we've been at war for more than a decade with Monsanto and GMOs, and we know that soy is read in the body as an estrogen. So when you start, all these kids are lactose intolerant, we're going to put every kid on soy the moment of their birth. Their body starts reading that as the hormones in our food and stuff are also pushing in this direction.
Have you heard that men's testosterone, that's easy for me to say.
Yeah.
Men's testosterone levels have decreased 40% in 40 years.
Yes. And there's atrazine in our water, and that's something that comes from pesticides.
Yeah, this is why I don't drink tap water anymore.
Yeah, it's in all water
Tap
systems.
water's for washing clothes and taking showers.
Yeah, and some of it you don't even bathe in.
I do.
No, I'm saying some of it you don't do. Speaking of tap water, Florida just turned off their last fluoride treatment. They no longer put fluoride. I'm so proud of that.
I did hear that. Yeah. So getting back to this queer thing.
Yeah, it's a combination of hormones and brainwashing, just straight up brainwashing.
Indoctrination.
Yeah.
In the schools.
Yep.
You didn't have that.
No, absolutely not.
I didn't have that. And when I was, now you and I are for two completely different generations, but still, I mean, I'm a boomer. Born and bred, boomer. All right. And I can tell you all my favorite things and where they come from, and it's all boomer crap. Look at my freaking bookshelf back there. Can you see here? Let's get a close up on my bookshelf here. Let me see if I can do that. Pull that off here. You see what we have back there? Look, first of all, up there by the on-air sign, those are cassettes.
Yeah.
All right. Still wrapped. I have Ed to thank for those. Now,
and not only that, those are the ones that you can record on.
You can record on any cassette.
Well, yes, I know the trick of putting the tape on.
Now,
the
over my over my right shoulder, and what I'm pointing to now is the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's a boomer thing. Next to that are the characters from Spinal Tap, which is a boomer thing. However, they have a new movie coming out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, called the first movie was about basically the end of Spinal Tap. That was the first movie, and here we are 41 years later, and they're making a new movie called The End Continues.
Oh, wow. Fun.
All right, now, if you look a little bit far, if I lean over a little bit, I'll get my microphone over here. Now, below that, you will see, I'm doing it wrong again. These are figures from the Toho movies, Godzilla, Ghidorah, and Rodan. I love Godzilla. Of course, I would normally do that in favorite things, but we're doing this right now. And next to that is an Albert Einstein action figure. You see that?
Yes, and Albert Einstein's just the coolest. He is.
Okay, now we've come back from that. You see my platinum record back there?
Oh, yeah. That's
You know what that is?
You had told me back of this.
That is Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, platinum record.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with that album.
That's bougie, though.
That was a gift to me from someone who I had done a big favor for back in the day. And when her uncle died, who was in the record industry, she got a bunch of stuff from his estate. And she said, "Would you like this?" I said, "Heck yeah, I'm going to have a podcast and that'll look great on my wall."
Absolutely, yes.
So that's what that is.
Very
Anyway.
cool.
Let's talk about how we did last week, because it is something else, I'm telling you. Maybe it was just talking about it that made it better. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you this, that I told you that, I think last week I told you that in 5 days we'd had over 5,000 views. And we're like, wow, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, in the last basically 6 days, we've had 16,000 views.
Yay. Thanks to you guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. That's so
Appreciate our
cool.
people watching.
But there's more to it. The actual podcast, I told you last week that we only had 19 pathetic views. Well, just talking about it and focusing on it and putting brain energy on it, we actually doubled that this week. It's
Yay.
39.
Thanks, guys.
We had 39, and that's in 6 days because we did it on Wednesday last week. We're doing it on Tuesday this week.
Right.
So we doubled that. But the really big number is we're topping out now for 28 days. We're topping out at 63,000 views.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
In 28 days.
That's more than the population of
it's
Swain County.
Not even remotely viral by YouTube standards. But back in the day when I started on YouTube 20 years ago and got monetized for it, that would have been a good chunk of money. Mm-hmm. But they've changed everything. It's not, and they're still giving away, from what I understand, they give away something like $60 million a day.
Incredible.
Google does to YouTube creators. And a channel like this that has like 40 subscribers.
Yeah, they don't even know we exist.
Well, you have to have 500 subscribers to get monetized now. Back in the day, that wasn't a thing, but now it is. There's that. There's also other criteria you have to meet, which we didn't have back then. It was just they would pay you if people watched your videos. But now it's like they draw the line. Of course, they're giving away a lot of money. But the quality of content on YouTube has gone through the roof. I mean, I use YouTube for just about everything.
It's very nice.
I use it for my news. I use it for my entertainment. And of course, there's a lot of regular channels out there that put their stuff on YouTube. So if I want to see anything from the History Channel, I can see it on YouTube. Somebody I recently stopped listening to is Tucker Carlson. And when he first left Fox News and he created his own TCN, Tucker Carlson Network, he asked for $40 to have access to what he was going to do. I liked him back then. I paid it. I paid $40. And almost immediately he started putting everything on YouTube. What the hell did I just give you $40 for? Right? Right. So, yeah, there was, speaking of that, there were influencers like crazy that were conservative. I'm talking about conservative, hardline conservative influencers who just totally flipped on Donald Trump when he bombed Iran. Did I say Iran? I meant to say Iran. When he bombed Iran, they just completely flipped on him, saying, "You're this World War III. Oh my God!" Tucker Carlson left his home in Maine and he went down to D.C. to just start pounding his fist on desk with Steve Bannon. And it's, I love Donald Trump, but he's committed the ultimate sin. Candace Owens did the same damn thing. She did the same thing. And typically, I like to watch her shorts, her little clips and things. And she's got a lot of tremendous insights, knowledge, wisdom. Yeah, and Trump was just like, "What the hell are you talking about?" That whole mess was over in 2 days. It was over in 2 days. Ain't no World War III happening. And they would just trust the man like they claimed they did. But nope, they just lost their shit. And oh well. Anyway, I did not fear. I had no fear. I figured it was all going to work out, and it did.
And if it don't, are we really going to wake up dead? I mean, you don't mind if you wake up dead, as long as you're, I guess, a good person. You better think about that.
Well,
think about those choices.
I could tell you all about that and about the plan of salvation and know what you have to do and all that, but I'm not sure there are people in this audience who would appreciate that.
I mean,
the last time I did that, I got the worst comments over it. But, hey, the hate is strong in a lot of people.
It really
is.
People.
And Christianity is one of the absolutely most maligned faiths, let's say, these days. But,
well, yeah.
But that's, if you know the scriptures, then you know that's going to happen. So,
right.
So we'd say, okay, we roll with the changes. Trust God.
Yeah, but we can't have people that are running around proclaiming their Christianity for 20 years while being in public service, coming out and doing really unchristian-like
Don't
things.
even worry about that. I never even worry about that. Don't worry about that.
I'm just saying
all.
That's part of what paints the bad picture is you have bad apples.
Yeah. Speaking of bad apples, Bernie Sanders is a damn liar. I saw him. Well, do you see the Joe Rogan? He did 3 hours with Joe Rogan.
I don't know how he had that much stamina.
Insane. Joe Rogan was a Bernie bro. No more. No more.
Well, I don't understand.
Bernie gets up and he said, talking about the climate change and the people who don't believe in climate change, but it's real. And Joe goes, "Oh, take a look at the chart." And he goes to a chart on the wall, and it shows that climate's been cooling. That we've been on a cooling cycle for about 1,000 years. The whole entire planet. They had a chart on the wall that goes back like millions of years, and it shows the climate change stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like they always say, the climate has been changing since climate began, and it has.
I'm sure there are cycles that are bigger than a year.
Oh,
I mean,
we're talking hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that.
Get ready for the blip.
I just saw Bernie sitting in front of Congress giving a big speech. Nobody was there, but they do that, right? They do that. They get up and they do the big speeches, and and he was talking about how Trump was going to decimate SNAP, food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid, and he's going to he's decimating all of that. There are going to be hundreds of thousands of children who die of hunger. And you know what he's talking about? He's talking about Doge and the elimination of fraud, waste, and abuse. The elimination of that. It has nothing to do with taking money out of any program that is being wisely spent, that is being spent on good stuff like the school lunches, like it's so much. None of that stuff is going to change. But that's how they get people riled up.
It is.
It's just, the Democrats have had such a shitty turn of play in the last, couple of years. Then they can blame Joe Biden for that. For what's happened, the more we're finding out, but I don't want to go get all too political because I know we alienate half the audience when we go there. But I just like to focus on the common sense stuff and try to divide the truth from the lies. And when you can point to something and it's a lie, you absolutely know it's a lie, I think it needs to be exposed. It needs to be out there that is a lie. Like this woman who, what's her name? She's a reporter. She is now totally persona non grata in the White House. This is the woman who got 51 intelligence agency operatives to sign a letter saying that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation, which it wasn't. The FBI had it in their possession, being led by, not by Comey at that point, but the other fellow, Christopher Wray. Mm-hmm. And they came out and said, it's Russian disinformation. And then the intelligence operatives, we're talking CIA, NSA, all that stuff, they signed this document. And this woman, this reporter was the one, this journalist was the one who got them to do that. It was all fake, all completely fake. This woman also promoted these other lies about like find people on both sides. You remember that one?
Yes, I do.
The Charlottesville thing. Mm-hmm. Well, total lie, because it was a lie of omission. And so many of these things are just lies of omission, mm-hmm. where they're not even half true. It's just he started out saying this one thing, but it continued into an entire thought. So they just go, well, we can use this against him, so we're going to do that. There was that. There was the suckers and losers thing, where Trump supposedly called a bunch of veterans suckers and losers.
Oh, yeah.
It never happened. And people who were there at the occasion when that when they were purporting that it happened said that never even happened. All right. Yeah. Biden tried to bring it up in a debate, and he got completely shut down on that one. And there were more. There have been more. Like they said when Trump disrespected a disabled person by going, and is, talking about it. And then they go back and they show all these different clips where Trump has done the exact same thing, but not in regard to a disabled person. It's just something he does, right? And, they've tried to use so many things in that whole gaslighting sense. We're going to use it to hurt it, but it never works.
We're going to use all of these distractions to keep y'all divided and from focusing on us being the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's pretty disgusting.
You put it very succinctly. Anyway, that's a bummer.
It is.
So let's get off of that. Speaking of Donald Trump, I did see him this morning he was out in front of the White House before he left for Florida. And where was he going in Florida? He was going to check out the new alligator Alcatraz. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I have heard about that.
He announced a new prison they're going to build in Florida, call it the alligator Alcatraz, meaning that it is in a swamp and which is surrounded by alligators. And if anyone escapes, they will probably be eaten by an alligator. What are your thoughts?
Holy smokes. Can we put the politicians there? Can we take Congress and House of Representatives and put them there for like a test run? I think that would be a good start.
Well, I made a clip this morning, and I'd like to show it to you all. This morning, I saw Trump talking to the press before he left for Florida, and he had something to say about the way that they're going to train the prisoners to avoid alligators if they happen to escape. Yeah. And this is what he said.
Snakes are fast, but alligators are, but we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison. How to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. Serpentine! Serpentine!
That's called The In-Laws with Peter Falk and Alan Arkin, and it's a boomer movie, people. It's a boomer movie. It is one of the funniest movies ever produced in the 1970s.
Nice.
It's so funny. I highly suggest that you go back and watch The In-Laws with Alan Arkin and Peter Falk, better known as Columbo. You see, just one more thing.
I do remember that character.
Yeah. Okay. As soon as I saw it this morning, I instantly thought of that clip from that movie. Now, they're dodging bullets, not alligators, but, it's the same thing.
Whatever.
Yeah. Both of them have hard shells, so there's that.
Nice.
Anyway, so I enjoyed that. We need to talk about the big Swain County issue, and you know what I'm talking about, right?
The sheriff
Yeah.
got caught with his pants down.
So to speak. We're going to take a look at this right now. You ready?
Happening now, we have breaking news coming out of Swain County. This is where the sheriff has been arrested and is facing charges today. Sheriff Curtis Cochran was arrested by agents with the State Bureau of Investigation and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. Authorities say he's facing 4 charges, and they include felonious restraint, assault of a female, sexual battery, and solicitation to commit prostitution. The district attorney, Ashley Welch, has filed a petition for Cochran to be suspended from office.
Swain County Sheriff Curtis Cochran has been suspended over allegations that he exploited his power for sex.
District Attorney Ashley Hornsby Welch said if the charges are proven, it constitutes corruption in office. This afternoon, she petitioned to the court to permanently remove him from office. The charges detail how authorities say Sheriff Cochran solicited 2 women he picked up for sex. Cochran is scheduled for several hearings in July. The 72-year-old was released today on bond. More on his charges at 6.
Now, wouldn't that be an interesting trial to sit in on?
Yeah, they had him in court somewhere today, but I never read where his hearing was today. It's like they were keeping that on the down low.
It was in another county.
No, that's the July 7th meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All
that
right.
one's to determine whether or not to put him back in as sheriff. But
right.
something went on today at the July 1st, but I don't know where.
He is suspended. That's
He is
done.
suspended, yeah.
I'm just thinking this is not going to go well for him.
We know that historically there has been a lot of corruption in Swain County.
You started a YouTube channel, didn't you?
Yeah.
That is so nice. I'm so glad you did that. You just got to maintain it. You got to keep it up. Okay, we're going to go to the tape right now. And this is Corbin. And how is Corbin related to you?
We inhabit the same body.
I don't even want to go there, but we're going to
I'm setting myself up for a schizophrenic claim later down the road.
Okay, here we go. Here's Corbin. Oh, and he smokes.
He's got nice nails there.
It's a filthy habit.
I didn't know y'all was there. How's it going? It's Corbin. Yeah. Holy, they got my blank shirt on backwards. I guess I better make it an easy fix. Flip it right on around there.
Gotta watch your
that's
headroom
all
when
right.
you're
It's
taking
easy.
videos.
You know what ain't easy fix? Getting caught with your pants down. Yeah, it's not an easy fix. That's not. You go make national news for that, folks. Like our sheriff. Yeah, former sheriff, he did that on the national news. Yeah. It's not what you want to be famous for.
I like his
I
cup.
mean, you know, yeah, there's just a lot
It takes
to
a
say
lot to
there.
make Corbin speechless.
If it's dementia, like has been rumored for several months now, 6 or 8 of them, well, somebody should have stepped in for now, like maybe county commissioners, yeah, or the chief deputy could have said something. Hey, the sheriff's not got all this cheese on his cracker. Yeah, that'd have saved a lot of problems, wouldn't it? But then we'd be paying out a pension for somebody that's real corrupt. Yeah, I reckon deviance comes to the surface. This is one of the first things starts really showing in Alzheimer's, and well, extortion for sexual favors because you got authority. That's deviant, dude.
Yeah, now let's remind the audience that this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. But I do enjoy Corbin. I really do. I enjoy Corbin very much. Let's get a little more Corbin action in here.
Yeah, I touched on it earlier with the put your arm where your mouth is.
Hey, y'all. Hey, yeah, it's Corbin. So, yeah, listen. There's a Freedom Fest down there in Bryson City.
Freedom Fest coming up?
From 2 to 3 p.m., I've heard old controversial Courtney's going to be in the dunk tank down there by the caboose.
Oh, boy.
So, if she's offended any of y'all or made you laugh, or if you want one of them silly old mugs that she drinks her coffee out of every morning. Well, from 2 to 3 at the Bryson City Freedom Fest, she's going to be in a dunk tank. So come on down there and donate you money to the town and maybe get you a free coffee cup and maybe get out some of your frustration. If you got any at her, that'd be all right because, you know, she's controversial. But anyway, on a different note, that sheriff, he sure takes a cake, don't he? Yeah, he takes a cake.
You did talk about the sheriff.
I slipped that right on in there.
Yeah.
Or Corbin did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all drink your coffee. It's healthy.
All right. That Corbin, he's incorrigible.
Oh, you never know what's going to come out of his mouth. He is telling the truth, though. Controversial Courtney will be in the dunk tank on Friday from 2 to 3. So,
all right. Will Corbin be doing any like children's story hours or anything like that in the library?
Y'all want Corbin to come tell your kids stories? I got to see him change something. And there's this one time I was on this job.
Oh man, you're killing me. You're killing me.
I mean, it'd be better than
gosh,
you know, drag queens. I'd be a drag king.
I guess. Well, let's do favorite things. How about that?
What do we got?
Favorite things. Okay, so you got your coffee. Coffee. Drink it. It's healthy.
Always the coffee.
Okay, I'm doing favorite things. This right here. This is a sausage wrapped in a pancake on a stick. And this is one of my favorite things. You can get this at Walmart in Silva, the Great Value brand. Now, I was first introduced to this in the Jimmy Dean version of this, and it turns out the Great Value thought it was so popular that they made their own version of it, and they put it in Walmart. Great Value is owned by Walmart, and it 55 seconds in a microwave, and this is a little piece of breakfast heaven. Absolutely sure it's filled with nitrates and PFAS. What is PFAS? PFAS. It's that plastic stuff, right? So,
permanently found all.
Now, if it's not enough to have a pancake on a stick, there's also blueberry pancake on a stick.
There you go.
It's delicious. It's so good. I have one of these every morning. Sometimes I have 2 if I'm hungry.
I usually do a really healthy
great for
smoothie.
hangovers, by the way. Great for hangovers. A smoothie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You make it yourself?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of trouble.
It's not. It's worth it with all of its honey and bee pollen and all of the extras that go in there and the spinach and yummy.
I used to do a breakfast drink. It was green and it tasted okay. I would do it with almond milk, which I found out now is not too good for you. However, coconut milk, which you can get in a gallon, is supposed to be a lot more healthy for you.
Yeah.
So if I ever did anything like that again, I would probably use coconut milk. It was a Purium. You ever heard of Purium? It's one of those multi-level marketing programs.
Yeah.
And in all my adventures down in St. Pete, as I lived there for 58 years, in my freelance work as a video producer, this woman who got to be great friends, Sonia Magruder. And Sonia had made a killing selling Purium products. And she and her husband, who had been realtors, they didn't do that anymore. They basically lived off her income from Purium. And we're talking nice house, nice cars, nice everything. And I asked her one time, you ever been involved in a multi-level marketing program? Most people have at some point.
Pyramid scheme?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Yes, and they're not true pyramid schemes. I mean, as her success could tell you. Right. I asked her one time, I said, how many people are in your downline? And she said, about 13,000. To which I hit my head on a table. Well, no wonder you're driving, nice cars and you got this beautiful home and all that stuff. Anyway, lovely people. They were absolutely lovely people. It's funny. I was in a band that opened up for Blue Oyster Cult, and she said, something to me. He said, that Buck Dharma in Blue Oyster Cult, he's one of our best friends. He comes to St. Pete all the time and he stays at our house. Oh, man. If you ever saw the famous SNL skit about more cowbell, That was Blue Oyster Cult with Christopher Walken. You're going to want more cowbell. And the guy on the guitar who Cowbell Boy was next to, that was supposed to be Buck Dharma. And yeah, he's a short little guy, but he's famous for writing that song. He wrote Don't Fear the Reaper. And, Blue Oyster Cult had a lot of albums out, but they were most famous for Don't Fear the Reaper. It's the only radio hit they ever had. So, but yeah, opened up for Blue Oyster Cult, met Buck Dharma and Sonia and Magruder. And we made some videos for her to sell her Purium products and all that. We've covered just about everything we wanted to cover today. Oh, I'm talking about your Facebook. People want to check out your Facebook page. You are Courtney Wilde with an E on Facebook.
That's correct.
And that's a great way to get a hold of you. You work in realty. You can be contacted through your realty business, which is Courtney Dills. Great Smokies Realty. Smokies with an E in it.
I have one that's way easier these days.
Oh, do you? Let's change it. Let's change it. What is it?
CourtneyNCRealty.com.
All right. Well, we'll get around to it. Don't let me forget to do that before we do it the next time.
That's a lot easier than all that mouthful, though.
That's true. But most people our age are on Facebook. I say our age. I include Courtney on that, even though she's quite a bit younger than I am.
Even though the years say I'm a millennial, that's a lie because I grew up in Bryson City and we're 50 years behind. So that puts me very firmly in Gen X.
You are Gen X. Yes, you're absolutely Gen X. I'm going to get this over there.
So this is my Facebook page, and it is not very professional, even though that's my Aurora picture here. Your banner is just That's the Aurora that we had, the fake Aurora that they gave us last March or whatever.
Yeah, you know how it is with our smartphones. You take a picture and then you look at the picture and say, "That's not what I saw."
I know, and then then my profile picture, of course, that's too dark. I was informed professionally that's just too dark.
Way too dark. I can fix that up for you.
So we're gonna fix those things, but you can find me on Facebook at Courtney Wilde.
And we do have a page for the Stan Show, and there it is. Look at that.
Ta-da.
The Stan Show page on Facebook. Please go and give it a like. It's more important though that you go to the YouTube channel, which is The Stan Show. It's just The Stan Show, and that you like and subscribe. Ring the bell so you get notified whenever there's a new episode, because we don't do them on the same day every week. Sometimes Monday, sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Depends, because we're busy folks and we got things to do. Well, Courtney does. I'm retired, but I just putter around in my recording studio here all day long. And don't forget, the recording studio is Mountain View Recording. And we've actually had a few people come in recently and do things here. It's great. If you're familiar with the duo Fall Spring, that's Tommy and Taylor. They recorded a new song with me here last week that's not ready for prime time yet. I myself finished a song that I'm very proud of that I would love to let you hear, but I don't really have it online yet, so I couldn't play it for you right now. But maybe we'll do that next week. I took a song that I wrote in 1987, which is kind of it's indicative of the time when a lot of those hair metal bands or hair rock bands were doing ballads, like Cinderella. Don't know what you got till it's gone. And Poison. Every rose has its thorn. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I took that. I wrote a song kind of in that vernacular because it was the time and put it out there. It's called If I Knew Her Name. And we recorded it on the road and it was pretty bad. And then it was re-recorded for an album called Free Fair, Are You Guys a Band? And that sold thousands and thousands of copies because it was given to these rock bands that went out and did shows in high schools that I was a member of. I was part of that for 13 years. They would sell this cassette at their evening programs. And so plenty of people have heard this song, but, and send me a message. If you can reach me at stanarthur@gmail.com. Best way to go. Or you can reach me on Facebook, which is Stanley William Arthur II. It's been fun.
It's been real.
Did you have a good time?
It's been real fun.
All right. And it's been real and it's been fun. It hasn't been real fun, but it's been a good time. So Don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications for whenever we have a new podcast out. There will be a ton of shorts up after this, which we release several every day just to get them out there. And boy, those garner thousands and thousands of views. They do. They surely do. We'll be back next week with something new for you.
Yep. Don't forget Freedom Fest is downtown Bryson City this Friday.
Yep.
Starting at about 10 a.m. and it runs all day, live music.
And you are going to be in the dunk tank at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
There you go.
There have been several requests to make sure that it's filmed me getting dunked.
Oh, I'll definitely do that for you.
Appreciate that.
Sounds
great.
With my fantastic Samsung S25 Ultra.
Look, if we're going to show off phones, I just want you to see can you see how beat up this little beauty,
Lord.
beauty is? Beat to death. Yeah.
Well, the last time I got a new phone was the S22 Ultra, and I didn't get a screen protector for it. And all the damage that was done to that screen happened within the first 3 weeks I had that phone. And then I never damaged it again.
Yeah.
I didn't crack it, but there were a lot of bad scratches on it. So I got a screen protector this time.
I've got to get a new piece of glass, obviously, on mine.
Yeah.
That's the tempered glass protector, though. So underneath it, it's fine.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's not unusual to replace the screen protector once a year or so. That's very common. Yeah. So with that, we will turn off the on-air sign. I would just invite you to say good night, Courtney.
Good night, Courtney. Thank you all so much for joining us again here today on The Stand Show. We ask you to come back again next week.
Absolutely. Please do that and watch our shorts and send us ideas for other things you do. Maybe you want to be part of favorite things.
Talk smack and run us up in the algorithms, whatever you think.
Yeah, we hope to have some really cutting edge shorts coming out of this show. That's going to do it for us. I hope you had a good time, and we'll just see you the next time.
Did you like the show?
What else is on?
I'm watching Gutfeld.